Hi, this is Kimbra and you're watching allaccess.com. I've been singing and writing music for a very long time. You know, it was always natural for me to sing when I was a kid, and then I started a passion for writing probably around like 8 or 9 years old. Picked up guitar about 13 and was performing original music from about 14, 15. I did a lot of band competitions in high school and was quite lucky to go quite far in them. Receive money to, you know, record a song for the radio and things like that, which started to get my name out and about in New Zealand. Then I signed a management contract when I was 17, moved to Melbourne, moved into a one-bedroom apartment with a Pro Tools rig, started my first album, worked with a producer, and then signed to Warner Brothers, just before the collaboration with Gotye. And then, yeah, I guess I moved here to Los Angeles. For the Golden Echo, I really wanted to make the most of all those opportunities and all the amazing people that I'd met. But it was less about me deciding to kind of suddenly have all these features on the record, and more a very organic, kind of magnetic feel that kind of manifested around the album. It really attracted people. It seemed to, you know, excite people when I'd show them the work I was doing. And Rich Costy, who co-produced the record with me, would send things to Matt Bellamy, for example, or Matt Chamberlain, or different people that, you know, he had contacts with, and they would go, oh wow, you know, I'd love to be a part of this, and would say, well, why don't you come down? And, you know, it was this really fun kind of, yeah, community feel about it, not this sort of like writing down on, I'm going to have this person feature on the record. I wanted it to just feel like my friends were contributing, or people that I'd had respect for and wanted to honor them, you know, honor the bands that I loved, which are kind of maybe different to what people thought, you know, was my influences. Yeah, I guess I have designers that I love, and there's definitely an aesthetic that I'm drawn to, and I think sometimes that's come from observing Japanese, you know, street fashion, or even, you know, I mean, I loved musical theatre when I was a kid, and I loved costumes, and I was really into that, and vintage shopping became a big hobby of mine when I was young, scouting out bargains. That's really a lot of where it still comes from. I think fashion is a great means of self-expression, and a chance to really bear, you know, your soul and your spirit, and a chance to be creative. So I guess that's more my inspiration for being adventurous with style, less than it being necessarily about particular people or particular icons. It's more about expressing your own sense of self.
Pulling in different elements of your
exactly. Maybe
by,
similar to the way I make music, you know, taking influence from these different ideas that excite me aesthetically, and painting, that's right,
exactly. Someone walking through the festival, like one little bits and pieces of different things, and then making it your own.
The artists that I respect, hugely admire, and have become, you know, milestone influences, and then there's the music that I listen to on a daily basis,
right, like,
and that's always changing. Because you know, as much as Michael Jackson and Prince would be top of those lists, it's not necessarily the music that I would now jam in my dressing room before I have the show. The stuff that I'm usually listening to on my iPod and stuff is, you know, usually up and coming stuff, like artists that I discovered in London when I was over there before, and kind of, there's this guy called Fife that I've been listening to a lot, or, you know, the producer Arker, I've been getting into his instrumental records, or it might be, you know, a new metal band that my, you know, my brother showed me, or something that I'm really into. So those influences change all the time. But then there are those artists that are, you know, the key people, of course. It's Minnie Riperton or Rufus Wainwright, and you know, and like Stevie Wonder, and like people that will always be your reference points for melody and rhythm, and tried and true. But I do try to keep evolving with what I listen to on a day-to-day basis, because, you know, I think that's where the unique perspective comes from, is listening to things that are outside of your normal reference point. I think the first album that I was really invested in myself was Diorama by Silverchair. They were this 90s grunge band, from Australia, that I ended up working a lot with on my new album. I remember I definitely remember putting my money into that, and actually, interestingly, Amy Winehouse's first record, Frank, was a big moment for me, and I was quite young when that came out, and I remember, like, you know, that being an album that I'd spent my money on and putting it on and being really excited about. I feel like it would be a Jeff Buckley song, probably, because that record, Grace, was a big emotional record for me, and one that changed my own views on what I wanted to do musically. So maybe one that stands out actually is Mojo Pin, which he does this version of it at the Live at Cine recordings, and I remember it would like almost bring me to tears every time I would hear it, that song. Maybe another one might be like Björk, I Play Dead. It's like on her first record, the very last song. That's always one that really gets me as well.
Love that.
I just completed a video for the song Goldmine, and that will be coming out soon. I have some more content for that track, and yeah, that's probably the closest song on the album to my heart, so I'm really excited to share that with my fans, and the video stuff we've done for that's really exciting.